Hi there, Capricorn. Thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 11th of April. Last week's new moon is still resonating powerfully in your situation. It's all about your home and emotional life and also the structures of your everyday existence. But because the moon and the sun, of course, combined with the erratic energies of Uranus, the unsettlement that you've been feeling in recent years, potentially, in these areas, may have been emphasised once more. But it can be an opportunity to renew. And if there are parts of your existence which are outdated, this is going to be a fine time to continue to look at the ways you can bring them up to what is really appropriate for you now. When we're children, we all have lots of influences. Some of these are to do with the sounds, the senses that we have. Some are environmental, of course. But what happens is we learn certain ways of being. And some of those ways of being do need to be updated from time to time. And if some of yours have really come to the end of their appropriate, this is going to be a fine time to try to start again, to think about things in a different way in terms of how you relate to people emotionally and your emotional needs, or how you live and who with. For example, if you're in a relationship where someone's quite dependent on you, you may want to have more freedom. On the other hand, if you're living a relationship with someone where you hardly see them, you may actually feel that that's not very nurturing to you, and you may want something much more profound from this. And that can push you to make some changes. Now, what's going to help you brilliantly this week is a fantastic link between Mercury, which is in a superb part of your scope, very self-expressive area, your fifth solar house, and Jupiter, the planet of growth. These two are cooperating in such a way that this can be a great week to socialise or to invite people around to your abode and to play mind host, particularly if you can spoil people. But equally, it could be a way that you can just make some changes to your home life in terms of using spare space to do something more creative, whether it's a hobby, a small business. You've got this as your gift because some kind of change really can be very beneficial to you. There is, however, a change as this week draws to a close when Mars does go into retrograde. And all through this week, Mars is going to be clashing with Neptune. Now, this is really important because through to the end of this month, these two are going to be aggravating one another. And this is cautioning you not to let your fears and anxieties get the better of you at moments during the rest of April. This is because you may hear something, a snippet of a conversation, and there could be a tendency almost to think the worst or to feel someone's not being very sincere or straightforward. Do you know, you might actually be right, because when Mars and Neptune clash, it can lead to a little bit of dishonesty. But all you can do is control your own responses and your own attitudes and become more conscious of your own behaviour. And it's therefore going to be important that when it comes to your past experiences, as I said at the beginning, that you try to bring them up into the present. And if there are things from your past that are still rattling around in your subconscious and stopping you being a content and at peace individual in the here and now, this is a fine time to challenge that about yourself. But I would be very cautious about the company you keep, because anyone who doesn't really nurture you, doesn't reassure you, may not be so good for your mental health at the present time. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.